Hi everybody, welcome to my latest video. It's basically a perfect evening out here. It's about 5 p.m. and I've been working really hard in the house, finally putting some more clay onto the walls in there, and it's been amazing getting my hands back into the dirt and working with that material again because I love it so much. I've also been out on the land and I've done quite a bit of pruning, tackling my lime trees, my grapefruit tree, and my gigantic lemon tree as well. Plus I've done some more tidying up here on the top terrace. So it's a fun video. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you again at the end. Hello everybody from a beautiful evening. Let's get this window open, let the light shine in. And I'm gonna head outside to tackle a problem, an eyesore even, that has been bothering me for quite a while. And that's this very messy, very ugly terrace that's become a dumping ground for useful things like cardboard and less useful things like tires. The tires, I think Sinead's keeping them for a possible future foundation, so I'll take those down to her. And then I just have a whole bunch of other crap that's accumulated over the years. So I'm gonna give this a tidy, and I'm gonna do it the fast way. Okay, that's so much better. I still have sand here because it's gonna go in the clay, so hopefully I'll be able to get that out of the way soon. There's more sand under there that I've had for ages, and I don't know if you can see in the distance, but I have Jaggy Jack the cactus on the burn pile that I started this afternoon. It had some life left in it, and so I chucked it on and hopefully he'll burn. So I've got his babies here, and I'd love to get them moved over to this area, but it's pretty weedy here. So before the sun goes down, I think I have maybe about 20 minutes more in me this evening, and I'm gonna focus on weeding this once again the snappy way. All right, done. I did a little bit up there. I managed to get some weeds out all around the base. I discovered another Jaggy Jack in there. Do I need it? Probably not. I also did a little bit of weeding in the front and got to a bit of Tracy. She's still not looking her happiest, not living her best life, but I'm hoping with the dry weather she'll spring back to life. So the sun's going down. It's about 6:30 and I've spent my energy, so I'll deal with this weedy wheelbarrow tomorrow. And I think tomorrow I'm gonna also try to prune a few more trees. 'Tis the season, and since I'm gonna be working inside on the bathroom, I just wanna make sure that I get down here and there and do some pruning. So we'll start tomorrow off that way, if the weather cooperates. I'll see you then, and in the meantime, I'm gonna enjoy what is a really lovely evening. Good morning from another beautiful day. I can't believe how gorgeous it is this morning. I'm gonna start with weeds. I've had several people suggest to me that I could make a fertilizer using the weeds just by soaking them in water, quite similar to what I do with comfrey tea. So I've got a wheelbarrow full of weeds, I've got a bucket, and I'm gonna top this up with weeds and then just add water, and hopefully in about 5 weeks or so I'll have some nice luscious fertilizer to go on my new garden. There's quite a bit of soil still stuck on this stuff, which probably isn't good for the fertilizer. So I'll try my best to separate a bit of it out. But I'm not going to be precious about this. This is the first time I've tried it. And it's just an experiment, so I'll just do one bucket. And yeah, I can't see why it would hurt. It's just another creative way to use stuff from the land. And anytime you can return organic matter back into the land, that's good in my books. So, still have a wheelbarrow full of weeds. They can go in the compost, but this stuff can get soaked, and I'll revisit it in a few weeks. on to the citrus. I possibly should have looked up on the internet how to prune grapefruit trees, but I feel like I accomplished what I wanted. I've trimmed out some of the middle stuff to create airflow. I've snipped off some branches that were quite close together, and I've chopped stuff down so that I'm happier with the shape now. Before we head off to the lime tree, let's check out the comfrey. So you can see this is all the dead crappy stuff, and it's actually fine because it's just used as a chop and drop mulch, but we have some new comfrey coming, so that's extremely exciting. This plant is amazing as a fertilizer, chop and drop, living mulch. It's great, and it's kind of indestructible. So it was looking really sad, but we've got some more springing to life here, so that's very impressive and makes me happy. So, goodbye grapefruit tree. I hope you do well this season. On to the lime. So the lime tree is also surrounded by a small army of dying looking comfrey, but as with the grapefruit tree, it's springing to life as well, and this stuff makes amazing mulch. So we have signs of life, and that's really wonderful because having living comfrey at the base of a tree really helps protect it from weeds, and it's just an amazing plant to have. So this tree didn't give me very many limes last year, maybe one or two, and I don't know when they're supposed to start showing, but it looks like we've just got a few showing up this year as well. So I want to get this pruned because it's looking quite unruly. Another thing I should have pruned but didn't get to because I didn't realize is my plum tree. Apparently you're supposed to prune these in the summer, as with other stone fruit like peaches. So we've got a couple peach trees on the bottom terrace that I haven't yet pruned, and this one as well. So this is going to have to wait until, the summer, and I'll have to remember to get to it because it's definitely getting a little crazy. Last year it didn't give me any fruit. The year before it gave loads. So I'm going to be curious to see what it does for me this year without too much attention and pruning on my part. But this morning is all about citrus, so I'm going to switch focus and see if I can tame this amazing little lime tree. So I want to get rid of the branches going towards the middle, just to improve the airflow. I want to get rid of the branches that are growing straight up and crossing over. It's kind of difficult to tell unless you step away. I think I might take off some of the lower stuff just to encourage a slightly taller tree. I wonder if I should take that off or not. Probably not. But maybe next season I'll get it. So that one, you can go, you can go, you can go. Anything growing downward, anything that's dead, you also want to take off. But the health of the tree is looking pretty good. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to trim the branches back to encourage more growth, so I'll look that up. But I definitely know I want to get rid of these things in the middle. And that's it. You just chop a bit, step back and observe a bit, chop a bit, observe. Let's get rid of this. And you don't want to go too crazy in one season pruning stuff off. In general, you don't want to take more than some certain percentage of the tree, which I actually don't know. So I might take a little break, consult the internet, make sure I'm not doing my little lime tree too much damage because I do really love this tree. I have 3 lime trees. I have one on the bottom terrace that's doing absolutely amazingly, which we're going to visit in a minute because there's a surprise down there that I definitely wasn't expecting. So I feel like I'll take off this. It's looking a bit dead and straggly. Off you go. That one's growing down, so you can come off. This one's growing inwards, so you can come off. And I might take some of this, just give a little more space. And then I feel like maybe I'll take, I don't know. I want to take one of these two off, but I think I'll just walk away for a moment, come back, reassess with fresh eyes before I make a cut that I regret. All right, I'm happy with that for the moment. Let's take off a few branches of my glorious lemon tree. So I've never actually given my lemon tree a proper prune ever, and the interior of the tree is looking really sketchy. I'll probably leave most of the pruning until after the fruit is gone in the spring, but I did look up online and I can do minimal pruning while the fruit's still on. So what I'd love to do is take off some of the stuff that's hanging over this way to try to get the tree a bit more balanced again, and then take off some of the water shoots that are coming up in the middle of the tree. I don't know how much I'll be able to do with this tool of joy though. I might need to get the tool of joy on a stick, which is one of my favorite tools, but I'll do what I can with this little guy. No, I'll get the stick. Much better. So I think it's looking a little happier. I'm gonna wanna come back and clean up some of the thicker stuff with a saw. And a part of me is tempted to take this whole branch off. In the past, it's gotten really laden with fruit and snapped. So I don't want that to happen again. And it also makes the tree really lopsided with that branch there. And it makes everything feel a little bit claustrophobic. So yeah, I think I will take that branch off, but I won't do it until I think the fruit is gone, because I don't want to be pruning too much. So let's take a closer look at the interior. This is where things are pretty crazy. There's lots of overlapping stuff in there and all kinds of weirdness up here, some dead branches up there as well. So I'll do what I can with the tool of joy on a stick, and then I'll probably need to get up there with the ladder to take a closer look. It smells so delicious. This lemon tree is one of my favorite trees in the land. It's been very generous to me over the years, and it looks like we're having another fine year. And so I feel like it's time to give this thing a little bit of love back and free up some airflow and hopefully keep it happy. So things are still looking a little crazy, but this has become a lot more time consuming than I was expecting, and I don't want to take off too much in this pruning session. Plus I've already taken off a bunch of branches that have loads of lemons on them, so I don't want to end up with too many lemons. I know people will appreciate them as gifts, and I definitely have lots of stuff I love to make with the lemons, but I don't want to go too crazy. I'd like to save some for later in the season. So this is how the tree looks right now. I really do still want to open up some of this stuff here, take off some of the branches that are going straight up, like that one way up there. Not exactly sure how I'll do that, but I'll put the camera away, have a think, and I'll check in again very soon with a lemon tree that hopefully looks a little less messy. So as happens with pruning quite often, I might have gotten a little bit carried away, or maybe a lot carried away. I definitely took off quite a bit, especially in this part right here, and over on that side of the tree as well. The top part above the canvas needs some work, but it's hard to reach, so I'll leave that for later. And maybe you can see behind me a massive pile of lemon branches. I have an idea for those that I'll talk about a little later. I have a bowl of lemons at my feet, and I have a massive pile of lemons currently on my couch in my house as well. So I'm gonna be trying to think of stuff to do with lemons. I'll probably start with some lemon cordial because I love it, and go from there. So as always, I'm open to suggestions. I think I might try lemon sorbet for the first time as well this year, finally. And the usuals, like just making teas, juicing it and freezing it, and maybe I'll make some cakes or something as well. But I have a lot of lemons to work through, and I do love this season, so no complaints for me at all. So as often happens, this job has taken quite a bit longer than I expected, but I'm happy with the results. It's been very satisfying. It smells amazing under here. And I think for my first attempt at pruning a very large and unruly lemon tree, it's gone pretty well. So I'm happy with that, and I'm inspired to move on, and my next pruning patient is gonna be this lime tree. So let's give him a little tidy up. All right, I feel like this lime tree is looking so much better. I got a bit carried away with the weeding. Got a massive wheelbarrow right here. And I really wish I got carried away with weeding more often than I do, because when you have a little flurry of activity, it does make a massive difference and makes me feel really good. So this lime pruning job, I think it's okay. It's tough to tell. I definitely need to get this guy out of the bucket and into the ground, but I just haven't decided on a place yet. So I'm gonna say goodbye to this one, and I'm gonna head down to the bottom terrace to pay a visit to that lime tree's cousin. And this lime tree has provided loads and loads of limes in the past. This year I think I probably got over 100 limes from it, and it's still pretty small, so it's very impressive. I also haven't really given this one a prune, so we're gonna give it a bit of a trim. And there's also a surprise on this tree. Check it out. I missed a few limes and they've turned yellow, and they still feel soft and squishy, and I'm very happy to see them because I could use a few more limes in my life. Who can't always use one more lime in their life, I ask you. So let's get that guy off and give this little tree a prune. There's another one. And I think there's another one down here as well. There we go, hiding away at the back. A nice big one. So that's my little surprise haul of limes. I'm gonna cut it open later. It'll be green on the inside, and I think it'll look pretty cool. But right now, it's time to address the disaster that is this tree. Even though it's produced for me, it hasn't been getting a lot of love from me. So I'm gonna give it a prune. And once again, let's do it with the snap. Okay, prune is done. It's been a bit drastic, but I think the tree needed it, and it'll be interesting to see how it produces. We've got little limes on the way already, some more up there, and the airflow has been improved. I got rid of a lot of the overlapping branches and dead stuff. Plus, I got carried away with the weeding again. I'm on a roll, guys, and I uncovered some very healthy looking comfrey under there, and I just think the tree is gonna be a lot happier. So right now, I'm very curious about these yellow limes. So let's head up to the top terrace to the house, cut one of these guys open, and see what it looks like inside. So it's not as much of a contrast as I thought. I expected it to be a lot more green, but it's definitely a lime, and I've got some friends coming over a little later on, so I'm gonna whip up a batch of guacamole and get some freshly squeezed lime juice in there, which is a nice surprise this time of the year. So I think I'll call it quits on work for the day and try to sneak in a nap before my friends arrive, because off camera I was doing something else that was quite strenuous. I went and collected this lovely luscious clay from my friend's place, and collecting it is no joke. It involves lots of humping buckets around, and yeah, it's generally pretty tiring, but It's just such amazing stuff. There's no stones in there. It's perfectly sticky. And I'm very excited to use it on the bathroom. So, goodbye for now, clay. I'll deal with you tomorrow. And in the meantime, I'm going to say goodbye from what's been a pretty productive tree day. And tomorrow, I'll be back in the bathroom to continue work on that. It's another gorgeous day, but today I'll be spending my time mostly inside. But let's start the day by mixing some clay. More clay. So putting the clay onto the walls is extremely enjoyable. It's the mixing it up that is quite labor intensive and really time consuming. A cement mixer will work really well for this job, but we don't have one. I think it would probably be a good investment to make for the future, especially with Sinead about to start her house build pretty soon. But until that point, I don't mind doing physical work like this, especially after a long winter, and especially after I've been working inside on the house for quite a while, doing things that aren't really so physically demanding. So it's nice to be outside, getting sweaty and gross, and in the process, mixing up a lovely batch of cob. That's better. Perfect. Okay, the cob is mixed, and I'm going to bring that inside in a minute. I've created a working space by basically dumping everything onto my bed, and my plan is to possibly continue over onto this wall eventually, but my focus for today is to get clay on the wall in this area, and that means stuffing some down the back And then I'm going to build out enough so that it looks like the wood is actually coming out of the wall. And to do that, anyone that's watched my channel for a while knows that I really like to stick metal into bits of wood so that lime and clay is more likely to grip on. If you don't do that, basically as the clay shrinks, it wants to pull away from the wood and it just ends up looking really bad and you have to fix it later on. Another way to stop the clay from shrinking is adding in a decent amount of sand and also straw. So I've done both of those things. And the next step is adding a whole bunch of nails all the way along here, and then all the way up there, and then maybe even up there if I can manage it upside down. Okay, nails are in, the clay is here, tools are at the ready. Let's get this stuff on the wall. So I probably should have put the clay down, the back part, before I stuck the nails in, because now it's quite difficult to actually get it in there. But live and learn. I know now for next time. So I'm absolutely loving this. Cob is my favorite material, and I've enjoyed getting my hands dirty, creating a mess, and I'm getting it onto the wall, and I think it looks really good so far. I have a little bit of clay left in the wheelbarrow, and the sun is going down. It's a gorgeous evening out there, so I'm gonna just put the camera away, power through this last little bit of the wheelbarrow, and you'll see me again tomorrow for some more clay work and probably some carpentry as well as I try to finish up the backs of these shelves. So I have a full list of activities to get through, but it's been very enjoyable, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for some more messy, muddy work on this wall. Okay guys, it's a new day and I didn't get as much done today as I would have liked because I had to go into town this morning, but I got another wheelbarrow onto the wall and I might actually continue, if I can find the energy, into the night as well and keep going because it is extremely enjoyable. So I've come all the way over here. All of this is going to become smooth once I do the final layer, but that's not going to come for quite a while. It'll be one of the last jobs I do in the house. And I'll probably just aim to do all of the walls at once. So then over here, I've added most of this bucket of clay into this section, and I'm basically just building it out. And I've got nails in there as well. And it's really just a matter of packing it on, mixing a wheelbarrow, packing it on, mixing a wheelbarrow, packing it on. And the mixing part, not the most enjoyable part of the whole process, but the packing it on part is extremely fun, and I definitely love it. So I've got a lot of clay to go on the wall. I'm building out to this level to cover this up, and I've put this wood in here. I like to embed things into the wall to make things easier to screw into in the future, just in case I decide to do that. I don't know what my plan is for back here, besides building some kind of a wardrobe for my clothes. But having those in there gives me options later on. So this is where I'm at. And this part is done once I give everything a little tidy up. And I think I might actually continue to power on with the clay as far as I can until it runs out, because why not get rid of all of the clay I have sitting in my driveway? It's going on the wall anyways, and I might as well just get it out of my way now. So while it's been wonderful working back inside on the bathroom walls, just look at how absolutely gorgeous it is out here. So even though it did rain for a little while earlier, and even though it is quite cold today, I have the fire on inside. It's just so cozy being in the house and getting my hands back into the cob, and it's been very enjoyable. So I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have, this little flurry of work. I really have loved seeing the trees get cut down to size. I think they're going to be a lot happier and healthier because of it. I hope so anyways. And yeah, seeing the bathroom slowly progress has been fun. Still a little bit more to do on that, which I'll get to in the next video, but slow and steady, and it's just all about enjoying the pace of life and doing what the season demands. And right now it's pruning, so there'll be a little bit more of that as well. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It really does help the channel. And I'll see you in the next video.